Recently realized I'm a manipulator and a liar. Lost my relationship last September. Was second relationship of my 21 years of life. After breakup, I realized I might have been manipulating my ex. I used to tell her that I'm very lucky to have her. I really meant it. She can get anyone in her life. Am I really capable of making you happy? Deep down in my heart, I knew yes, I can make her happy. But why did I still say that thing? Don't cheat on me, please. You will never leave me, right? I knew she will never do such thing. I lied to her for the first time. I used to say I hate liars, which I really do, and I got caught. I'm dumb, I can't lie. And then I thought again, why did I say all those things? Why did lie? And then at last I was just blaming my previous relationship for my insecurities and manipulative behavior. I never got a chance to apologize, and now I'm disgusted of myself. I ruined her first time being in a relationship. I became exactly what she hated the most. I will never forgive myself for what I did. Deleted user. Self-reflection is a huge step in becoming the best version of yourself. A lot of people out there don't like to see the wrong in themselves. Hence, after a breakup, you always hear from people what the other person done, how bad they were treated. But for you to sit back and see your faults and actually feel remorse for your behavior actually says a lot about you. It's not too late to tell your ex that you have looked back and can now see the poor behavior you brought into the relationship. Showing her complete remorse without excuses and wishing her well with her life will definitely help yourself and your ex move on. Joe joked him 5 and 30 advice from an oldish guy who has been married for 3 years. I suggest in your next relationship that you sit down and talk about this issue and any other issues you might have. Talk about it and tell your partner to keep you accountable and call you out on the BS. Talk about your fears and dreams, and most importantly, talk about finances. You have the perfect opportunity to learn this one valuable lesson. Accountability. Take time out and look within yourself. Find the mistakes, reflect, and move on. Also, surround yourself with people who can help keep you accountable. Hope it helps. I had the same problem and could overcome it, but it took me a long time. You can do it. Using I'm a not found dog. I'm NGL. This shit hit home for me. My ex-husband lost me by lying and telling me every day he loved me and shit, and then turning around and telling me how much of a terrible person I was every day. He went online and spent $150 on private chat rooms jerking off to whores while I was asleep and pregnant. Lied about the specifics of it like 5 times, when I already knew the whole truth. I gave him a chance to tell me the truth and he didn't, and he would get mad at me when I brought it up. He would also manipulate me into having sex with him when I didn't want to, and tell me that it was because I didn't love him. He lied about going to the casino, and when it got to the point he lied about stupid shit, I knew I couldn't trust him anymore, and what's the point in being with someone you can't trust? And being with someone who makes you feel like you're worthless, you know? Deleted, original poster. Actually, I don't really know why my relationship ended. To be honest, the last time we had our conversation, she said she needed some space as she was going through with her own problems that time which I was a war. How do I explain I'm somewhat a let's solve this thing right now kind of guy, and she is someone who needs space when she was having trouble sorting out her own thou. OTs. We had this thing before too, and I remember we fought one time because I was not respecting her boundary. Reese. But the second time I told her that when she is ready to talk, she can come to me anytime, I will be why. Ting. I couldn't hold back and texted her on the 3rd day and probably said things I should have not said. At that time, I recently had surgery and was in the hospital, so I was also going through with my own stuff, and I was not in my right mind, not trying to make excuses. I know my wrongs, and I'm completely aware of what I said, which I should have never aid. And yes, if I ever had a chance to apologize, I would have done it by the time I realized it was already too late. She blocked me from all SNS, even MYPH number. I did learn from the mistake, and I'm trying to move on. Easier said than done, though I'm still regret. Mike V, well, I think you're a bit overthinker. Maybe I'm wrong, but there is such a vague wording, so I'm not sure I really got you right. First, what did you lie about? You said you lied to her for the first time. What was the lie about? Second, If I understood you right, you told her that she can get anyone in her life because you wanted her to think that you're a good guy who wishes her the best and can even let her go if she wants to, so she would understand that you are the one who would make her happy. But you actually wasn't ready to let her go. Yes, no? If yes, that's of course not a thing that I'd recommend you to do, but this is also not a catastrophe. So I would not say you're as evil as you write about yourself. Don't blame yourself. It's enough just to realize that it doesn't work, and it works better when you are saying what you really feel and think. It will lead you to the better result. My advice will probably sound weird, but I'll try to formulate it better. We, as a society, always consider manipulators as egoists. So the advice, focus on yourself and not on others, seems weird, but that's what you need to do. What makes somebody a manipulator? That's when you focus too much on other people and their reaction, and what they think and what they do. This is your whole world. So of course, as a consequence of this, you try to get some certain reactions from people, and you start to make some strategies how to get it. That leads to the situations where the chain is not like, I feel it greater than I say it. I want it greater than I say it. And it is more like, I want to get some reaction from you, greater than what should I say to make you feel the way that will lead you to react like that, greater than saying it. But you can never be sure of what's inside the other person's head. Your strategy will never work out like 100%. So the situation becomes a cheap show where nobody is happy and everybody is acting instead of living and feeling. Trying to control the things you can't really control is the most exhausting thing in our everyday life. So it will never make you happy. That's why I'm telling you to focus on yourself and your own feelings instead of focusing too much on what other people do and feel. When you're focused on yourself, you are just honest about what you feel and what you need, and you say it directly instead of creating another cheap show to get the reaction you need. So you become a simple person who is easy to communicate with. Original poster. Yes, you can say I overthink a lot. The lie was about something personal. Sorry, I can't say it, but I can tell you it was the worst decision I have ever made in my life. She was sad when she knew I was lying about it. She tried understanding why I lied because I was in a rough spot myself and had to choose between telling the truth or lying, and my dumbass chose to lie because I thought the truth was gonna hurt her. Even more, but still, I got caught, and it was the same thing. She got hurt even more. I started telling her she deserves better after I was caught lying, but she was still there for me. You can say I was not happy with the decision I made. I hated myself for that. It was not because I wanted to be a goody-woody boy, but yeah, I was terrified of losing her, so it's a both yes and no answer. I will keep that in mind. This was by far the best explanation I can ever get. Thank you so much for your response and time. Yes, I'm working on myself and my behavior.